Are you trying to navigate this crazy thing called life? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Unraveling with Rayne. Hey guys, today I'm here with Christie Oar, owner of Tri-City Singles. How are you?
I am fabulous. How are you?
Doing good. Recovering from my cold, so we're getting there.
I am so glad. You tended to get a lot of work done while you were sick, too. I saw that.
Goodness gracious. There's always work to be done.
Well, you posted, 3 videos during the time you were sick?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, that's all editing and all that stuff that's all backlogged after you record.
Oh, my God.
I swear it takes at least 2 hours to go through an hour's worth of footage.
Yeah.
So it keeps you busy. That's for sure.
It must have, to have that concentration. I'm out.
Really?
I pull the man card when I'm sick.
You can lay down and stuff.
Don't touch me.
Right. There was one day that I did plant myself on the couch. I was just like, nope. It just can't today.
No offense to the men out there.
Right.
It's just
right. So how's your day been?
It's just been fabulous. I mean, the sun is out. The weather's perfect for me. I'm not quite ready for it to get 100 degrees yet.
Oh, gosh,
but
no.
I do love the sunshine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year I planted a garden for the first time.
Did you? I love gardening.
And I've never done the in-ground. I've always done the potted.
Oh, how's that going?
It's going great, except for the Bermuda grass. But other than that...
Yeah. Oh, man. Once that takes hold, it is so hard.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah?
I'm learning a lot. I've got a botanist friend that tends to help me. Thank goodness.
Good. Yes, those are always good to have.
I know. So I make sure in my time every morning that I have time out in the garden.
Oh, it's good for you, too.
That spiritual awakening
right?
time. Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
I was telling my husband on his last day off, because he was helping me kind of adjust sprinklers out in the front yard, and I was like, I seriously take at least 5 minutes to stand here and watch these sprinklers. Like, I'm going to soak in the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, Siri's talking to us. Oh, no.
Hello, Siri.
Right.
Yes.
I just stand there and I soak in the sun and I watch the sprinklers, and I'm like, okay.
Do you have the ones that make noise?
Yep.
Oh.
Just zone in.
Yep. That's
perfect.
Great meditation.
Right.
That's a great meditation time.
Especially first thing in the morning.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
I took a picture not too long ago, and I sit at my table in the morning with my coffee and look right out there, and I've got a Buddha to bless my garden.
Yes.
In every little spot. So
nice. What are you planting, or what did you plant?
Well, I've got tomatoes and onions and carrots and beets.
Ooh, beets. I haven't planted beets before.
They're almost ready.
Are they?
Yeah, my soil is really good, and Brussels sprouts and peas and beans and herbs. I know
You went for it.
I did. I just went for it.
Good.
And I thought, well, that's the way I do it. I just jump in.
Yeah, I know that.
Get an idea and I just go for it. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what led you up to starting Tri-City Singles. Because you were, 30 years at one place and then all of a sudden switch. So what caused that for you?
Well, it had been a big spiritual journey for me. And I've been in the course over a couple of years. And just like any other idea, it comes from a problem. And my problem was that I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken in a relationship, and I was heartbroken after the relationship. And taking the time to really dig down deep, it seems like it might be unusual for someone my age to be digging deep this late.
No way.
I'm not. I know I'm not. And that's what led me to where I'm at now, is realizing that I'm not alone, or wasn't alone. And so it's just a matter of letting people know that I'm here for them and that I understand. And, I believe in the process.
What did that look like for you? Was it intimidating, or did it just all of a sudden start to click, or?
Wow. What it looked like was not knowing exactly that I was going to be a matchmaker. What it was the journey, and it was the awakening. And this is exactly how it happened. I had gone to Denver to spend time with my dad and to find a job. I was ready to move. I had my house rented. I had given away as much as I could, knowing that I was going to move. And I went down there and got a couple of job offers but it didn't feel right.
Mm.
So I decided I'm just going to spend some more days with my dad instead of looking for jobs.
Sure.
And I was on the flight home, Seattle to Pasco. I met a gentleman who had just told me that he had found his partner finally after 4 years of dating on the internet, but was flying back and forth to Long Beach, California.
Oh, no.
And just as he's telling me that story, I had opened up that Sky magazine, and there was an article on this franchise, matchmaking franchise called It's Just Lunch.
That's cute.
And that's, yeah, and that was it. It was like it clicked because I know so many single people that, have a hard time with the dating area. And I literally that night, I got home at midnight. I wrote out a bunch of thank you cards. I went to breakfast with a friend, was an hour and a half late to work. And I walked in and I quit. I put thank you cards in people's boxes and I left.
Wow.
And that was it. Yeah.
That must have been so surreal to just walk and be like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was scary. It was, this is it. This is it. It's all or nothing. So
I feel like those are the moments that we find out the most about ourselves. Is when we're in those like all or nothing moments.
Yeah.
Like, okay, make it or break it time.
Exactly. And I couldn't stop smiling for probably 2 months. I mean, I'm still loving everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But the permagrin was, finally that inner confident self was coming out.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then I took a little time off for myself and spent time with family. And then I dove into it again.
Yeah.
And here I am.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'm loving it.
So did you kind of start formulating how it was all going to look in that time off that you took in between quitting your job and then starting? And like, was it like instantly that you knew like, okay, this is probably how it should go and these are the things that I see that should be changed, or like this is how it's traditionally done and this is how I'd like to do it?
I looked at how it was traditionally done,
Yeah.
And then I had to weigh out how the Tri-Cities actually reacts to new ideas and new things.
Yeah, we take a little bit longer to get moving with new things, so that's okay.
We do.
It's all right. We're slow and steady.
We don't really always embrace those smaller businesses, so I had to really take a hard look at how, what the other blueprints were. And I looked at a lot of them, and they were all pay up front and, okay, we'll give you 12 months, and then that's it. But they didn't have anything vested in it. And so I felt like I needed to vest myself into it with the client and make sure they knew that we're both working towards the same goal. So I came up with a membership strategy that hopefully is affordable and gives people what they want.
Yeah. So
So.
what does that look like? Let's say, like, if somebody comes in and they're like, okay, I need to do something. I need your help. So then what happens?
Well, first we go through a phone screening.
Okay.
Okay. And I talk and give them an idea what kinds of questions I'm looking at and explain to them that, I am a face-to-face matchmaker and that I'm not an online dating service.
Right.
Number one.
Right. I looked through all your stuff and I was like, oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. And then I'm not your therapist. But I'm kind of right there in between.
Yeah.
And because I want to go off the behavioral aspect of it, And then we talk a little bit. And then the next step is to have a one-on-one consultation. That usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I bet.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
It really is. But it's also heartbreaking at times. And then I come home or to the office, wherever is most private, and create their profile for them. And then I'm the only one that sees it, and then I start doing the matching.
Yeah. That is so refreshing because there's already that vulnerability of putting yourself out there for other people to be like,
Mm-hmm.
dislike,
Yeah.
dislike.
Swipe left, swipe right.
Exactly. So I feel like that's such a sensitive place to look at,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that you're handling it, it's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
It's so beautiful because it still gives them the confidence of like, okay, she's going to look at all this and figure out where I need to be, but I'm not so vulnerable that the whole world gets to see it too.
Right.
You know?
Right. And this is a process, you know, and I let them all know that, you know, if there were an algorithm to get you your perfect relationship, whew, that
sold.
You know, sold
Yeah.
ding, but it's not. It's a process. There's, you know, we can go on dates. I can find somebody that is going to fit perfectly to what we talked about, everything, but they sit down and then they realize, oh, well, I didn't realize that I didn't like that about people, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So then they come back and then we talk and get feedback. And
a refining process.
It's a refining process. Yeah. And then during that is actually when the client starts to learn the areas in which they'd like to get help. You know, when we first talk, most of them don't say automatically, hey, I want to work with one of your consultants on, you know, career coaching.
Sure.
They don't say that right off. What they do is come back and go, you know, I'd like to feel more confident. I didn't really feel confident with the way that my makeup was, so I'd like to see the, you know, your skincare person, or I'd like to get my hair done. You know, it's a learning process through the whole thing. The whole thing.
Which is a team that you've put together.
Yes. When all this came about and I started formulating it and kind of let the universe take me where she wanted to take me.
Great guide.
These people came to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, even after I started, you know, people were hearing about it and saying, you know, this is how I look at it too, and I think my services could come in handy here, and it's still growing.
Yeah.
You know.
That is so awesome.
It's really neat how so many people can want to help others, you know, in finding that happiness, and finding that inner happiness to project and to accept love from another person too. Yeah. It's one thing to be able to give it. Yeah. It's another to accept it and be confident with who you are. And, you know, that's a hard thing for some people.
Thinking about the way that you put together the process and all the different things that you have available to people, I imagine that would be such a huge internal growth process as well, while they look for, you know, their partner.
Yep.
That's so, I just can't. I keep saying, that's so great. That's so great. It's all so great.
I think it's great too, and the people that I'm lucky enough to work with think it's great too.
Yeah.
You know, they all have their own careers.
Sure.
But they're willing to take the time to create this network and this, I just can't even explain it. It's like this positive pod of, you know, people.
You know, I mean, I'm married, but I think that I'm sure my husband would have appreciated a little bit more self-work before we got married. He is amazing. You are amazing, my love.
He is amazing.
But, like, there are so many ups and downs in relationships, and the more you know about yourself, and, like, you're talking about, well, I didn't realize that I didn't like that, or I didn't realize that I do like that, you know? So being put in that process and with different people, hugely beneficial for self-growth.
Yeah, it really is. And the first step is always awareness. You know, as soon as you recognize it, then you're able to take that step.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just finding, you know, it's the baby steps.
Yeah.
You know, for each person. And so that's why I went with the membership scenario, so that it's a, you know, a month-to-month type of thing. Yeah. Without holding somebody, you know, completely responsible. You know, and then we work together, and once you find that relationship, that is actually the monetary payoff for me and the fulfillment for them. Yeah. So we're both working towards the same goal.
You know, I was kind of doing some searching to see if there was anything even remotely close to that in this area. You're it.
I know, and it's scary.
I bet.
It's really
That's kind of
scary.
like when I started podcasting, I was like, how many other people in this area are doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to learn real quick.
Yeah, exactly. You've done a great job, by the way.
You.
I love listening to. When we first spoke, and you said podcast, I didn't realize there'd be video. So
yeah.
Keep me skinny, will you?
Right. Get back inside.
Get my kids.
Yeah. You know, I actually had a guest that it was, I think, one of my very first ones. And it was the same thing. And they just showed up. And I felt so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, I can feel how anxious you are. I'm like, okay, it's going to be good, you know. Don't worry about it. It's just so that way there's something to put on YouTube, you know.
Yep.
But yeah.
Get the followers.
As we get more episodes out, people are aware of the video aspect of it.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I was able to do. So,
yeah.
That's
awesome.
It's fun.
So I know that you are also pretty active in the community, yes?
Yes. Yeah.
So what are your adventures there?
You know, I'm pretty outspoken for the most part, but more supportive outspoken.
Perfect.
The Women's March, the March for Our Lives. I'm thankful to be part of a group that is called Love Army Tri-Cities. And we've been called to do security, peace, you know, we're the peacemakers, and just to keep everything calm and neutral. And so I'm part of that. And
that sounds like it could be challenging, though.
It can be, but, you know, we all want to be heard. And that's it. You know, and I can tell you, I learn every time something happens, you know, and dealing with protesters and people that don't actually understand fully either side is interesting too. The March for Our Lives was a big one. You know, gun control is it's a hot issue, and people showed up with guns, and, you know, but we talked with them, and we just all were like, all right, we agree to disagree on things, but you're more than welcome to hang out here. Yeah. You know, and that's the way that I try to approach things, you know, now. Yeah. I mean, I can say that I was pretty headstrong growing up.
I think we all hit those strides.
That's a little Taurus in me. But as I've gotten older, and, you know, I learned from everybody that I'm around that we just want to be heard. Sure. You know?
You know, it reminds me of, Brene Brown, when she says it's hard to hate people up close. And that kind of, what you're speaking, we just hung out with them. You know, like, they're people, we're people. I mean, you view things differently, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if we met in a coffee shop, we'd probably get a good laugh, and, you know. Not
it's a completely different topic.
Right. If the topic's right there, then, you know, it makes it a little different. But without that topic, we're just people. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And
that's great.
Yeah. So, yes, that was part of the reason I needed to change my journey. You know, and I decided, you know, a long time ago that I needed to make that change, but I didn't know what it was. And I got this tattoo on my arm here that says, "Be brave." But you can hardly read it, so I have to say it to people. Yeah. And that was a turning point for me. Nice. You know, to be brave and to get over my fears and to just jump in. Yeah. You know?
It's funny because sometimes people don't understand that just because you're brave doesn't mean that you don't see fear. You still see it. It's still right there, smack dab in front of you.
It is. It's right there. It's all in just taking that step forward, and it's not that scary. But
once you're, you know, kind of on the other side of it, you're like, oh man, why was I even scared about that?
Exactly. Yeah. One of my biggest fears is heights.
Oh, really?
Yes. And for my birthday this year, I went ziplining, which, you know, was a big step for me. And so I'm pretty happy with that. The next step is to go on my roof. But I'll get there.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know that I'm a big fan of heights. I used to be more afraid of heights when I was younger. When I was I think I was probably like 3. My parents took us to Las Vegas, and we were staying in Circus. And we were on the top floor, and my dad like held me up and showed me out the window, and I was just like freaked out. And so that memory hung with me for so long. I was like, no, I can't do it. Please no.
No, I'm one of those that if they show a video of a very high place or a bridge or something, I have to look away.
Really?
Yes.
Like, no.
But I've been trying.
Good. Good for you.
It's all part of the process. It's all part of the process.
Yeah. I actually made a list of fears not too long ago, probably about 6 months ago now, and I'm pretty close to checking everything off that list.
Yep.
Pretty close.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great.
I'm following your lead because it sounds like you're doing some brave things also.
Once you make that list of the things that you want and the things that you envision, then there's nothing left but to do it.
That's true.
And, I needed, for me, the change came when I really felt that my passion needed to be fed, which is community. I love the community here.
Yeah.
With all its flaws, and the people are great.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I'll tell you, the universe is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Do you find that, because I know that there's a lot of people that I am speaking with that are testing this theory of, envisioning or projecting how they want their life to look, and to see if that kind of manifests itself as you go. Have you found that to be true?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. It was, for me, as we said before, awareness.
Yes.
Awareness.
What brought you to awareness, do you think?
I was at my lowest of lows and couldn't see a way out. Everything was cloudy, and then it was just one day I pretty much got slapped in the face. It was like a math problem. You just get it.
Yeah.
And I knew what I needed to do. And I made the list of what made me happy and how I wanted them to fit into my life. And I envisioned it, and now I'm going for it.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's awareness, responsibility, and then walking away from toxicity.
Ooh, that's a hard one sometimes.
It's very hard.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's been a hard one. It's the weighing of the baggage. Is this one worth carrying? Is this one? And it's not so much. Sometimes it's the worth, but it's the heaviness that.
I find that to be most difficult within relationships.
Yep.
Especially long-time relationships. And like you said, when you do kind of become aware, you're like, whoa, that is impacting me way more than I had realized.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yep. And then, there's been so many good things and bad things that have happened over the last 2 years. But, getting an idea of how people see me too. And actually listening to it instead of running away from it. I've been a runner. I can say that, but looking it in the face and just saying, okay, I can deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And where I just ran before.
Right.
Yeah.
It's much more empowering when you're just like, okay, I see you.
I got you.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
But I know me, and I know where I'm at, and I know that I'm, being my authentic self, so that's all right. Yep,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how would you say that you really hone that? How do you keep that focus of, I'm projecting and I'm imagining and I'm envisioning what I want my life to be like? What are some tools that you use to really keep that focus?
My biggest thing is meditating.
Yes.
That keeps me in touch with who I want to be and who I am. I would say that is my biggest, changing my health, habits,
Sure.
doing
Sure.
all that stuff.
Yep, keeping the body in tune.
Yeah, doing the gardening in the morning, the meditation. The other thing is the time with friends. Just making sure that I take that time and have coffee.
Yeah.
Just hang out with everybody. I feel really good when I remember birthdays and holidays, and that's like, yeah, I remembered. I got it. Yeah. So, but those little things.
Yeah.
And those little things are what people want in relationships too.
Oh, for sure.
And so that's just a building block.
Yeah.
As I try to tell people that I live the process. The process is in relationships, out of relationships. It's a process.
Yeah. Rolls and waves.
Yep. Exactly.
So what was your meditation journey like? Because I know mine was really rocky in the beginning. Holy cow.
Yeah. I'm still gradually working up. I still find myself wandering.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm able to bring it back quicker. For me, it was just an overall, I seriously felt it in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that the meditation just, it almost rocked me to the core, is how I can explain it. It just was a wave of, just like that. I don't know how else to explain that, but
I was gonna say, I don't think that there's any other way to explain that. I cried. Seriously, I didn't realize it until I kind of came out of it, but seriously, just tears streaming. When you find that zone, your body just releases things that it needed to for so long, and you're like, whoa.
Yes.
I didn't know that was in there.
Yes, exactly.
Where was that this whole time?
Oh,
glad to be rid of that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've cried yet, but I'm sure that I'm on the verge.
Right. Feel it in there.
I can feel it.
There's so many layers, man. Just when you think you've hit them all, there's hundreds more.
Mm-hmm. There is. Yeah. There is. And then snap out of it and get my oils and...
What kind of oils do you use?
I'm with I use the doTERRA oils. Mm-hmm. And I keep diffuser around my neck most of the time.
I know, I was admiring your necklace.
Thank you.
There.
Yeah, I like my rocks. I keep my rocks with me.
Yeah.
No dirty jokes. But yeah, so I'm learning to get in touch more with my inner spirit.
Did you always kind of have that undertone of connection, or was it just kind of out of nowhere that you're like, holy cow?
I would say that there was always an undertone, but I never went after it the way that I do now. I mean, it was... I lived in Wenatchee, and so that was a great place for me at that time to go up in the mountains and, go hiking and do a little mountain bike riding. And I would get up there, but I didn't know how to tap into the spiritual aspect of it at that point. Yeah. But I did enjoy it. Sure. And I felt better. But
being outside will 9 times out of 10 instantly make you feel better.
There's...
Just stand outside and breathe.
Yep.
Bet you'll feel better.
Yep. I found a place up on Candy Mountain.
Oh, yeah?
That hike, I don't know, about halfway up, there's a rock that's perfect that overlooks. It's a great meditation rock. So I like to go there early in the morning when I can.
We did Badger Mountain once in the evening, and we had never done that before. And so on our way back, it was getting dark. Holy cow, it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I could not believe it. It's like, look at this place.
We actually have these places in Twin Cities. Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah, it looks pretty good up there.
There's been some beautiful sunsets lately, too.
Yes, there has been.
Yeah, I know a lot of people out in the Burbank area, and I'm on some of the pages, the Burbank pages, and they're all posting these beautiful, because they're out on farmlands and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So great.
West Richland, out in far West Richland, they get some beautiful ones as well.
Yes. Finding those moments in those places that are close, that you can see every day if you really wanted to.
Yes.
It's like a lifeline.
Yep.
Like, oh.
Enjoying the moment. You know, and that's part of the journey too.
I've been working on that one.
I
get distracted a lot.
You know, I was always one thinking about what I had to do next.
Yeah.
What's next? What's next? What's next? And now I just have to take a breath and say, I'm enjoying this moment with you right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's almost a meditation for me.
For sure.
Is to focus on it and to just be okay. This coffee's freezing my hand right now. That's all right. I'm good.
I don't know that a few years ago I ever paid attention to the moment I was in. Mm-hmm. And the more I do it, I'm just like, holy cow. Like, I was always planning.
Yes.
I was always, like you said, what's that next step?
Yep.
And it made life feel like a whirlwind.
Yeah, and you could never catch up.
No.
You still can't we can't do it.
Now we're just okay with it.
So it's okay.
Right.
I'll get what I can done today, and then, you know.
Yeah.
Just do what I can. But I need to enjoy these moments.
Definitely.
You know.
Do you find that helps with managing your business?
Yeah, actually. Because when I'm sitting down with the client, you know, they're important to me. And not just because they're wanting my service, but because they're people. And I love people. I mean, I love one-on-one interactions. I have come across the problem of I'm an empath, you know, so I take on everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
That's been a big obstacle for me, you know. I've always been let me take it on and I'll fix it for you.
Especially in your line of work.
Yes, so I was finding myself at first, you know, if I did 2 or 3, actually just 2 would wipe me out. The third one it would be hard.
Zoning out at the end of the day.
Yeah, it would get like that. But I literally had to rest. It took me a little while to figure out why.
Yeah.
And you know, these people, I care about these people, but they're not my friends. I can't take this on, you know.
It must be like you were talking about earlier, that line of where you fit in their journey and in their process.
Yes,
it
exactly.
It must be really hard to navigate that between, you know, therapist, not therapist, you know, because you're dealing with people's love lives, right. You know.
And they've all been heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm
some
sure
of the
they've
stories,
got a whopper of a story to tell you.
I've gotten some really good ones. Is, you know, some people already had the love of their life, but they passed away unexpectedly, or, you know, they were left and for another person, and after 30 years of marriage, all of a sudden it's gone, and these people don't know. You know, it really is. There's been times that I've cried while sitting because they are blocked. Yeah. They know what they want. I'm their next step. You know. Yeah. And then so we're going to take the next step together. Yeah. And see how it goes.
Yeah, and I love that you bring so many different tools to the table for them. Thank you. Because like you said, I liked how you phrased that they're blocked. And you just don't know what's going to be the thing that helps them get over that. Yeah.
There's always an aha moment in whatever we do.
Sure.
You know, for our reasons. And, you know, I'm thankful that they're willing to take a chance on me. They're trusting me with their stories, you know. And I look at this as, this is my reputation. This is me. I'm going to do the best that I can. You know, let's work together. Yeah. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It is
a whole team of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so.
It is.
So where are you located? Do you have an office?
I have an office inside Fuse.
Inside Fuse. Okay. Yes.
I utilize Fuse.
Yeah, I've been speaking with a lot of people that work with Fuse, and they're expanding.
Yes.
Coming to Kennewick soon. I saw that, I think, yesterday. I was like, interesting.
Yes, you'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. Actually, I'm going to be there on Friday.
So good.
To see. Yes.
Is this Friday's the opening, right, for the Kennewick? Soft opening or something?
Maybe. I'm going to be at the Richland one, though.
Oh, are you going to be at the Richland one?
Yeah, I've never been inside. I've heard terrific things.
You're going to love it.
Go. Really? Excited. And I hear that so many people are able to do the things that they've been so desperately wanting to do, and they just didn't have the tools available to them.
Right, the tools, the support, the encouragement. They had classes when they went through their Launch University. Met one of the life coaches that I have through that.
Nice.
People that did my logo through that. I mean, it just really, and helping me maneuver through all of this. Rigmarole.
I feel like there's so many little ways that we can fail as business owners. Like, we're like, I didn't even know that I was supposed to be doing that. Yep. So it sounds like a great place to go and be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now I know.
Right. Yeah. That's... is there somebody that can help me with this? And 9 times out of 10 there is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat, and it's really such an encouraging atmosphere that you just can't help but want to go back in there.
Really?
Yeah, and they have fireside chats and things for the members.
I've been meaning to get to one of those. I hear that they're so great.
Yeah. Yeah,
being a mom of 3, I have to really kind of pick which events I get to go to.
Understandable.
Or have to go to, but I do as many as I can.
Yes, yeah, those are fun. Yeah. I mean, it's just an evening get together and listen to other business owners and how they've survived. Yeah, and the changes that are coming.
Oh, yes.
There's so much enthusiasm in there.
Yes.
And they've helped start over 120 businesses here in the area.
Really? I didn't realize it was that many.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Spur that growth.
Yes.
Spur that economy.
Absolutely. And you feel like you're walking into like a Google Place because, they've got the kitchen and they've got all the spots for your computers. And
nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Very
you
cool.
Can spend a day there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I get a lot of work done all the time, but I do get encouragement and networking done. So that's a big part of it.
I know that's kind of a tricky thing working from home. In home is you get distracted a lot by other things. So when you're trying to focus on business, it's probably really nice to have somewhere else to go to work on business.
Yep, and you can do it 24 hours.
Yeah.
So those nights that I can't sleep, and I want to get away from my dogs, then
nice.
Yeah, so go there, get a lot done. But with my work, it's most of it, because it is so confidential. I keep most of it away from there.
That makes sense.
I just people are trusting me, so I need to keep everything safe and
So do you just meet them for coffee or
Yeah, coffee or lunch or whatever the case may be, wherever they're comfortable talking to me.
Yeah.
Kind
of have to meet them where they're at a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. I just want them to be comfortable.
Sure.
That
would make your job a lot easier, I'm assuming. The more you can kind of feel them out and understand where or who they are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, it's pretty neat sometimes I do have a few questions that I've lined up, but I ask a couple of them and they kind of sit back and go, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And you see this light go on and you can see that they're almost like they're taking my question and trying to connect it to why is she at, but they still don't. And they'll say, I don't know. And I'll say, okay, we can come back to that. Yeah. Because it's a good question.
Sure.
And,
you think on that.
You think.
Yeah.
And they'll come back to me. I've had people send me page-long emails.
Oh, I bet.
With afterthoughts.
I bet.
But the whole idea is to sit there with them and get that reaction.
Yeah.
I bounce around a lot. I do ask some of the typical questions, that you find online. But the deeper ones are the ones that I'll throw in at a time you're not expecting it, like right after your favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
So tell me about... Yeah. I don't want to give it away because I don't want people thinking about my questions.
I know I'm going to go see her, so now I know.
I know.
Oh, man.
I know what she's going to do.
So, but also, because you run it the way that you do, you get a vibe from people. Not just their mannerisms and how they hold themselves or whatever, but you get a vibe from people that you can match that way that you just would never get online.
Oh,
or in some sort of crazy algorithm that people are trying to put together, like you're talking about.
Right. It's really neat to, I don't want to say analyze, although that's what I'm doing, you know, because I'm going off of what I'm seeing.
Sure.
You know, in addition to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, and there's mannerisms and things that you can catch. But a lot of this is intuition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really is, because there is no foolproof strategy on this.
Right.
And I try to let people know, you know, right up front that it's you and me. We got to work together, because, you know, I'm going off of what you're telling me and what I'm seeing.
Right.
You
right.
know. And
that goes back into making sure that they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Having them sit there knowing that you're analyzing.
And, well, you know, I've had a few that just,
like I like this, and I like that, and I don't like this. Then why are you looking at me?
You know, there's a couple of them that really didn't seem like they were very comfortable. Mm-hmm. You know, short answers and no facial expressions. Yeah. And it took a little digging, so it went from an hour and a half to 3 hours. But, you know, come on now. It's just me. You don't even have to be politically correct, because it's just you and me. Right. I just want to know really what you think and where you want to be, what you see. Yeah. What is it you want, and how do we get there? Right. You know, that's basically it. Yeah. I love how you bring that up, though, that you don't have to be politically correct, because I'm sure so many people, when they sit down with you, they're kind of like trying to figure out how they're going to say certain things or convey certain things to where it isn't going to like be offensive or, you know, come off wrong. Right. It's really interesting, you know. I kind of decided that I was just going to dress down. When I first started the business, I was dressing up for everything. Mm-hmm. And now I just kind of have dressed down. And I think that that's made a difference. Yeah. Because this is more me. Sure. What you see right here is more me. And so therefore, I get more of them. I like that. And, you know, at first, they may have, you know, a stereotype of me. Sure. But as we're sitting down and just talking, we're just people. Yeah. You know, and it all kind of melts away. Yeah, it really does. And that's what I want. I don't want anybody to feel like, number one, they're alone. Yeah. You know, because there's a lot of people that are in this boat. I have clients from 23 on up to 74. Oh, really? Yeah. And I actually got a call from a 17-year-old. Oh. I know. I had to say no. Yeah. I'm sorry, sweetie. You've got some experiences yet. You still have high school. You know, but I felt so bad for her. She's giving me her story over the phone. And oh, goodness. It was really tough. You have to put yourself back in that 17-year-old mind. Exactly. Yeah. And then to say no, that I really don't feel that I'm the person to help you find your forever relationship. I would be so intimidated to be thinking about a forever relationship at 17. Mm-hmm. Like, granted, I did get married for my first marriage at 18. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even then, I was like, okay, this is happening. Yeah, now. This is, yeah. And in hindsight, I was like, okay, those feelings were valid. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I have to say, when I was 17, I was in what I thought was my forever relationship. Oh, yeah. And that was... We want to believe it so bad. Well, so we do our whole lives. Yeah. You know, but that's what I'm here for. That's right. That's what I'm here for. That's quite the age range. It is. Quite the age range. And do you have very many people, I mean, I guess you don't have to answer this, but do you have very many people that specify, like, age that they are looking for? Really? Yep, all of them. All of them? Mm-hmm. Or is that something that you ask? It is one of the things that I ask, because people have a vision of what their perfect relationship looks like. Mm-hmm. I will say that I do ask, what does it look like for you? Yeah. If it were a movie, what would it be? Ooh. You know? Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you know, because is it a comedy? Do you see yourself just coming home to your partner and having dinner, and what is it you see? You know, I don't lead them like that, but you know, I want to see what your vision is, because that's the end. We always have to envision what the end is in order to make the steps to it. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
thinking about that, like, I'm just like, holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing about that is the further my husband and I get in our marriage, the more it really looks like what I was hoping that a loving relationship would look like.
Yeah. Nice job.
Doing good, man. Doing
You're
good.
You're good.
He puts up with a lot of craziness. So,
I bet he does.
we try to keep it in check, but every once in a while. But
that's the way it should be.
It definitely is. In some aspects, it's way better than I ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I didn't know that was a level that you could be with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And it's going to be pretty incredible to see where these folks are starting. Yeah. To where we end up with them.
Yeah.
You know, this is still relatively new. And so I'm just getting enough clients. I think I've got a couple of matches right now that I get to start with.
Beautiful.
I'm pretty excited about it. God, I met so many incredible people.
Oh, I bet.
Through this whole thing. I'm astounded.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they traveled the world. They've, you know, done everything that they wanted to. They're getting ready to retire early, but they don't have that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's that one hole that's missing for them.
Wow.
For whatever the reason is. And so,
sure.
Or that one piece, not the whole, but the piece that's missing.
Yeah. You know, and I feel like you were saying earlier, we all are looking for that connection with somebody. Mm-hmm. And it does an interesting thing for you, because you always have that, like, that support. You're like, okay, I need to lean just a little bit. Okay, all right, we're good. I can do this, you know? That's what I've found in my relationship. And just knowing that person, like, if... I can't say this for sure, because I've only been married for 6 years. Okay. But what I'm learning is that if you find a partner that is willing to grow with you, not just like, all right, you do your thing, and I'm going to do mine, or like, they're really committed to like, okay, well, you have you, and I have me, and then let's just keep intertwining this thing. Let's see how far we can grow this thing. Like, it just feels like the sky's the limit. Right. Like, you just don't know where it's going to go, and that's awesome. Yep,
and so many people don't understand the work that goes into that. Because you've got to communicate.
Coming from somebody who was a terrible communicator, yes, that is a lot of work.
It is, you know, and learning how to do it, and it's bravery.
Yeah.
You know, yes. I let my clients know that you're all there for the same reason. Mm-hmm. You know? Yep. And we're all learning how to do things, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Yeah. But you're not alone.
Sure.
And
I think taking that pressure off is amazing. Mm-hmm. Just like, no, you don't have to do that.
Right. Well, we're doing socials once a month. Social events, the mingle things for our members. Mm-hmm. And I explained it to the clients that, you know, we aren't just our romantic relationships. Mm-hmm. We're with all the relationships that are in our lives, who we surround ourselves with, what kind of support we have. Yeah. And at least when you come to the socials, you're all there for the same reason. You're all doing the same thing. Yeah. And you could end up finding your best friend there. Oh, sure. Or you could look across the room and there's the romantic partner that I never thought you would be interested in. So it's tenfold in all the possibilities.
That's a great point. Yeah. Because friendships they add just another layer to life. Mm-hmm.
They really do. Yeah. They really do. And there's such a diversity in the interests and the people that, you know, our first social was amazing. It was just a small event, but we did what's called the lock and key. Oh, so when you came in the door, you either got a lock or you got a key, and the object was to go around,
figure out.
You had to talk to people, get that lock to unlock, and then the two of you got a prize.
Oh, so I know all about it.
Yeah,
come on over here. Come here.
Come on. Yeah. Well, there's some people that just can't.
Really?
Yeah, get out there. They want to.
Sure.
And so they're learning how to do it. And this is one way that kind of get to help them. If they're the person that just stands there, at least people are coming to them.
That's true.
To check their lock.
Yeah.
You know.
Good little icebreaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this next one we're doing at a winery, and we're going to theme it off of Hollywood Game Night, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
That'd
kind
be
of
fun.
get some teams together and do something like that. So it should
That'd
be a lot of
so
fun. But we're trying to do themes and work with different businesses throughout the area. So
people get in there and check them out. Yeah.
Yeah, and do it early in the evening on a Wednesday or Thursday, so people have time to go home and
Sure.
Rest up for their day and get ready for the farmers market on Friday.
Yeah, Yay! Farmers market. Oh, yes.
I know. I'm so happy that it's open.
No,
I needed my honey.
There's always that one thing that people are like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for the farmers."
Oh, the flower ladies too.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
I'm just so ready for this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a terrible winter, but it felt like it was just so long and like dreary.
It did.
It was just like, when is this gonna end?
Yeah, it's not as bad as last year, but it was pretty. But I did a little more traveling this year, so I didn't
did you?
I didn't stay. But I am gonna. I got rid of my scooter last year, and I am regretting it.
Oh.
I don't know if you've ridden around on a scooter, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I may look like a dork on it, but I had, I'm going 70 miles an hour. I'm a big old dork, but being able to ride down to the farmer's market and park right in the middle.
Yeah, there you go.
Even,
there you go.
Because you can park anywhere. And
I'm trying to figure out, because I have a little cart that I put behind my bike, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to navigate getting around with this cart, because I've got 3 kids.
Yes.
And our son is finally old enough that he can go around in the cart, but then I've got a 9-year-old who either needs to get going on her bike, or I don't know what the heck we're going to do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But, I'm sure something will present itself.
Yes. I think it will.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a handful. All right, hubby, you got to take the day off work.
Right.
Got to go to the farmer's market. Darn.
Exactly.
He's like, no, that's a chick day.
It's a
chick day.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I met so many wonderful people this last week.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. The store owners. And
Nice.
Yeah. It's great.
I love, not only do you get to meet so many cool people, but I just love that there's so much accessibility to good foods for us. It's good foods for our body. Because like we were talking about earlier, keeping the body in tune with everything that you want to do is hugely important. Yes. If you want to get rid of that mental cloud and you want to be focused and be able to do the things and, all of the things, then you have to keep your body with you. You can't let it trail off and find yourself munching on potato chips.
And that has been... between not eating breakfast and being a sugarholic, those 2 things have really come into check.
Yeah?
Yeah, so...
I started reading this new book, and I'm going to have another guest come onto the podcast, and we're going to discuss it entirely, but it has this morning routine. Right now I'm still in the part where it's talking about the morning routine, and holy cow, is it intimidating.
Really?
I was like, whoa, you want me to do so many things first thing in the
morning. Yeah.
It's like, get up, drink your lemon water and salt mix, and then you gotta get outside, and then you gotta get your body moving, and then you gotta do this, and you gotta take a cold shower. And I'm just like, what? I gotta get up at 5 a.m. if I want to do all of that.
One of the people that I'm lucky enough to team up with, Wendy Lee Jacks, I went to school with her, and she wrote a book about how her life changed after her last child and the postpartum that she went through. And she just goes through these 12 easy steps to changing your life. And the first one is to drink 8 ounces of water before, just before your feet touch the ground.
Just drink water.
Just do it.
Get your organs awake.
Yeah. I mean, there's simple steps. And I'm lucky enough that she's one of the coaches.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That whole... And I can imagine being in the dating world and being in that point in your life.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like,
no.
That would be so challenging.
Oh.
You're already just, like, so sleep-deprived, and you probably got mascara smeared across your face for most of the day. Like,
It might be. I haven't encountered that yet, thank goodness, but all sorts of other stories.
Yeah. I really can't imagine being in the dating world right now either, but
there's so much heartbreak out there. But when I was doing the research, almost 50% of the Tri-Cities is single.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's all age groups.
Sure.
If you take away the 20-year-olds that are in there, you're actually looking at about 33%.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty high.
Sure.
And the demographics are, all over the board. Your single dads, your single moms,
Mm-hmm.
So
I really had no idea that it was that high.
Yeah, you don't, because there's no place for these people to go. Or you see them and they're out there on the soccer field.
Yeah. Like I said, I tried to find something that was even remotely similar to what you've put together, and it's just there's hardly any resources.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's that feels like a lot of pressure. Let's
Here,
do this.
More on there.
Yeah, let's do this and see if I can do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you have done a beautiful job so far.
Well, thank you.
To me, it looks like you're building a beautiful team and a place for people to come and find those resources. And like you keep saying, feel like they're not alone. Because that is probably the number one thing people are feeling in that arena is, I just feel so alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first step. But, we go from that. We do have an isolation period, for ourselves, and then lifting up. And I'm thankful that they're willing to take a chance on me and take a step with me and go where they want to go.
That's awesome.
Hey, thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, my dear, thank you for coming and telling us about what you're working on and sharing yourself with us and letting people see you.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I've had a great time. You're adorable.
Oh, shucks. Thank you all so much for listening. If you would like to help support Unraveling with Rayne, go to patreon.com/unravelingwithrayne. When you become a patron, you receive bonus content such as behind-the-scenes footage, along with other special content that you won't be able to find anywhere else. Music for Unraveling with Rayne was provided by Barefoot Randy.